our investors. And when I'm down in that kind of micro level, I sometimes get withdrawn from what's going on in the world. And so I spent the last week or so, looking at that macro perspective of what's going on in the global markets and the national markets, and how that macro and now our micro data worked together. And so what we're seeing is there's a lot of foreign investment dollars that are sitting in a negative interest environment. The ECB's negative, Japan, the Chinese currency, with the devaluation and the Brexit recently. We're looking at that, and so they're chasing core markets. So they're chasing the big six, they're chasing the New York, LA, Chicago's. And so what's happening is, as those assets sell, that it's mostly domestic funds that own in the San Francisco and New York, and those are at new peak highs. And so then that capital is going to be redeployed into real estate. And so that's why we really believe that these secondary and tertiary markets are going to see a lot more flow of capital that don't really necessarily work into some of these micro levels of what's going on with your home price and your rental price, is because of exactly that downtowns like San Antonio that has some land. I mean, there's surface parking lots for half of West Downtown. And those can be built and that's going to be something that the city is going to need to work with those potential developers, and not, some of those historic overlays, may make it problematic. And I think what Graham Weston's doing with Frost Bank is he's pioneering that office tower, and I understand the kind of somewhat scaled version, because I know I read some things that they, it's only 23 stories, but that's a big building, and that's a lot of risk as far as capital. And you're also looking as far as, that Class A hasn't been built in 30 years. So you're really testing that market, and I think that will lead to further development downtown, everywhere. I mean, what Kevin's doing on Houston and around the Pearl, I mean, it will look dramatically different 5 years from now and 10 years from now.